Hi everyone, I welcome you all to this video. In this video, we are going to discuss about the exception handling in Java. Before going to the topic, first we know about some basic concepts like what is mean by exception, types of exception, why we need exception, like that. Okay, let's go. What is mean by exception? Exception is a problem that arises during the execution of a program. When an exception occurs, the normal flow of the program is disturbed and the program terminates abnormally, which is not recommended. Therefore, these exceptions are to be handled. Java provides a robust and object-oriented way to handle exception scenarios known as Java exception handling. Exception handling is a mechanism to handle the runtime errors so that the normal flow of the program can be processed. In Java, there are exceptions can arise from different kinds of situations, such as wrong data entered by the user, hardware failure, network failure, database server down. A file needs to be opened from the program. That file was not found in that location. Java virtual machine has run out of memory. This is the hierarchy of the Java exception classes. When an exception is raised, an exception object is getting created. All exception classes are subtypes of the java.lang.exception.class. The exception class is a subclass of the throwable class. Throwable is the parent class of Java exceptions hierarchy, and it has two child objects, exception and error. This exception object is further divided into two types, checked exceptions, unchecked exceptions. There are three types of Java exceptions already mentioned in the hierarchy: checked exception, unchecked exceptions, errors. The exception object is further divided into two types in hierarchy. There are checked exceptions, unchecked exceptions. The checked exception. These exceptions are called compile time exceptions because these exceptions are checked at compile time by the compiler. For example, class not found exceptions, IO exceptions, SQL exception, file not found exception. In unchecked exceptions, these exceptions are just opposite to the checked exceptions. The compiler will not check these exceptions at compile time. For example, arithmetic exceptions, array index out of bound exception, null pointer exceptions. The next one, what is mean by error? There's a difference between the exceptions and the error. Errors are exceptional scenarios that are out of the scope of application and it is not possible to anticipate and recover from them. Normally, programs cannot recover from errors. These are the some forms of exceptions. The first one is arithmetic exception. If we divide any number by 0, there occurs an arithmetic exceptions here. Here, the variable a contains 50 divided by 0. This will create an arithmetic exception. Next one is array index out of bound exception. When an array exceeds to its size, the array index out of bound exceptions occurs. In this example, In first line, a array variable has index of 5, but in the second line, we assign the a index of 10 value. The array has a of 0 to a of 4 totally. The 5 elements can store. So array exceeds its size. It will create an array index out of bound exception. The third one, number format exception. Formatting any variable or number is mismatched. It may result into number format exception. In coding, string variable s has a characters abc. In the next line, converting this variable s into a digit, it will cause number format exception. Then fourth one, null pointer exception. If we have a null value in any variable, performing any operation on the variable throws a null pointer exception. Here, string s has a null value. In the next line, we print the s dot length. This coding has not executed because s has a null value. It creates a null pointer exception. These are some forms of the exceptions. This is the keywords used in the Java exception handling. First one, try keyword. It encloses the code section which might throw an exception. It must followed by either catch or finally. Next one, catch. It is used to handle the exception. It must be preceded by the try block, which means we cannot use catch block alone. It can be followed by the finally block later. Next one, the finally. Finally block execute the important code of the program. It is executed whether an exception is handled or not. Throw. It is used to throw an exception. Last one is throws. The throws, it is used to declare exceptions. It does not throw an exception. It specifies that there may be occur an exception in the method. Next one, try and catch block. Try contains the block of code to be tested for errors. If error occur, catch handles and executed. Try is the start of the block and catch is at the end of the block. Try block to handle the exception. It comes in pairs only. This is the syntax of try and catch. First we define try block. This block has a block of code to execute. If the code contains the error, then it automatically throws the errors to the catch block. Catch block handles this exception. Next we some examples for try catch. The example for arithmetic exception test. In this Java code, arithmetic exception test class has a three variables, A, B, and C. A is equal to 10, B is equal to A is equal to 0, B is equal to 10, C is equal to 0. In try block, code contains C is equal to B divided by A, which does not executes. It creates an arithmetic exceptions error. After that, catch block executes and print the catch block statement. This code contains C is equal to B by A, which passes the arithmetic exceptions error. Now I am going to run this program. The output is arithmetic exception is handled by catch block. This is for example for arithmetic exceptions error. using the try and catch block. Next one, this is the example for array index out of bound exception. We using the try and catch block. In the class main one class, we declare an array for the variable for my numbers with the index of 3 values. But in the next line, index of 3 values. But in the next line, we can try to print the 10th index value. It will create an exception. So catch block only executed. Let's see the output. Yes, the output is something went wrong. This is one example for array index out of bound exception. Next we go finally block. This block is executed whether the exception is occur or not. This is finally block execute the important code of the program. It is executed whether an exception is handled or not. In this program contains the finally block. So the result of the program must contains finally print statement if the exception has occurred. Here already exceptions occurred in some array index out of bound exceptions occurred in this program. After that, the finally block also executed in this program. Now we go this program. Exception occurred due to the array index out of bound exceptions, and also finally block also executed. Next we go to the throw keyword example. Throw keyword allows you to create a custom error. Throw statement is used together with an exception type. In my program, check age method has one parameter. Check age method has one parameter. Next, if condition checks whether age is less than 18. If the condition is true, it throws one arithmetic exception error. Or else, it print one statement access granted. You are old enough. Here in main method, age value as a 15. This parameter is passed to the check age method. So it after that after the program execution, the condition is false. So it throws an exception. Now we are going to run this program. Here the exception is occurred because of condition is false. So the exception is thrown by the exception keyword throw. Suppose in the same code, the age was changed as 20. Now we go for run. This code would not create an exception because the access granted you are old enough was printed by the else statement. At last, throws keyword. Throws keyword is used to specify the type of exception that can be thrown by a method. Suppose there is a method named function whose statements can throw arithmetic exception or array index bound of exception. In my program, int number is equal to 10 by 0. Inside the function method, throw the arithmetic exception. This contains the arithmetic exceptions error. Note here, the function method used throws keyword. This keyword states that the statements inside the method might throw the arithmetic exception. Now we go for run. This function method has arithmetic exception error. So the output is also arithmetic exception was handled by this catch number divided by 0. Thank you all. If you like the content, please share this video.